What up, Defects? Welcome to our monthly New Comic Book Day segment where we bring you real sales data from a real comic shop for the most pre-ordered comic books for the month of December. So in case you missed the pre-order cutoff date, you could be first in line on New Comic Book Day to grab the hot books of the month. So without further ado, let's get into that list. All right, guys, before we get started with the list, we just want to give a big shout out to the guys over at Comic Nation. All this information, all this data, all these pictures that you see has been provided, all the insight have been provided by the guys over at Comic Nation. So make sure you're giving them a follow and a shout out. All their information is in the description below. So click on their links, sign up for a pull list with them. Awesome comic shop. And guys, stay tuned because there's giveaways during all of our New Comic Book Day segments. Later on in the show, we're going to pick last month's winner, and then we're going to tell you how to, and then obviously we're going to tell you what you can win this month. The only thing you got to do to be entered into the giveaway is be a subscriber of our channel and put a comment down below. All right, so let's get into these books. All right, Jay, what up? How we feeling? We feeling good?
We're feeling good. Excited to see what's selling in December, guys. End of the year, last month of 2023. So let's go out with a bang.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Start us off, baby, with a little honorable mention action.
All right, guys. Honorable mention. Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees, #1, second printing from IDW Publishing, releases December 13th. This title by Patrick Horvath is about an anthropomorphic serial killer bear that terrorizes a small town. The concept is well executed. Well executed for a serial killer bear terrorizing a small town. Sounds like Cocaine Bear, Matt, right?
Yeah, exactly.
The first printing is done very well on the aftermarket. Copies have reached over $20 and are still holding strong with sales between $10 and $20. The second printing has really seemed to sneak up on people considering how hot the first printing was. There are not many listings for it on eBay right now, and the ones that are selling rather quickly. FOC sales for the second printing were so strong for us that we think it's because of our Telegram sales group was able to put in a last second reorder for the first print at cover price when Comic Nation saw its potential. It'll be interesting to see how the printing performs on the release with eBay stock drying up, guys. I mean, that looks almost like the Breaking Bad guy, right? It looks like Walt the Bear right there. But not a title I would per se read, but Beneath the Trees Where Nobody Sees. Listen, if it's selling good like that, they got to be doing something right. And our guys over at Comic Nation know the deal. So I have all the faith in them.
I love it. I love that they put their members of the pull list onto this and said, "Hey,
right?
get that second print." They give you the insight why. It's a pretty. I mean, the cover. There's not much to it, but I like the concept. You know what I mean? It might be something that I might have to pick up and read. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. All right, guys. Our cover by selection of the week from Comic Nation. I mean, if you could look at it, you already know. Spider-Gwen Smash, #1. The JTC, John Tyler Christopher Virgin Negative Space variant. Marvel Comics releasing December 13th, 2023. I got to tell you, no matter how many negative space variants I see, I still love them. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say getting stale. They're getting stale for me, dude. It's almost like the Gleason covers. They do look phenomenal, though. They always look phenomenal, and fans are just waiting for their character to get that JTC negative space cover. So I understand it, but we just see so many of these guys.
The Thanos ones from 2 months back, that was the best.
The best one.
Yeah,
by far the best.
Yeah. So here's what Comic Nation has to say. JTC continues to put out his open order negative space variants, but what made this one different is that the artwork was not released until well after FOC, final order cutoff, for those of you that don't know. Although this variant had strong sales for us, we think that the lack of cover art likely suppressed pre-orders. Supply may be more limited on release because of this, so we are keeping an eye on it. The lack of cover art seemed to have our customers roll the dice at FOC, knowing Gwen would be on it. With our savvy buyers, we think the lack of cover art actually increased sales for us. So, guys, again, Comic Nation, a comic shop like Comic Nation, is helping their pull list members by kind of giving them some insight And now they're telling you, like, hey, pre-orders were suppressed because of the lack of artwork showing before, but people still rolled the dice in it. And I think it's going to probably pay off, to be honest with you, because people love Spider-Gwen, people love JTC. And if you have a lack of supply, you're probably going to have some demand. So,
Absolutely.
all right, we've been talking a lot about Comic Nation. Let's take a quick second. All right, sponsor and curator of all the data for this show are the guys over at Comic Nation, the world's finest comic shop. They got some discount codes for you. Defects 10 gets you 10% off your first order. Defects gets you 5% off of every order after your first order. And then they have 15% all. If you order on FOC, you get 15% off your orders. You get 5% cash back at Comic Nation in their currency every order. You can combine orders for less shipping. So guys, do yourself a favor. Head over to comicnation.us or check them out on Instagram and start that pull list today. Trust me, you're not going to, if you're looking for a new LCS or you're not happy with yours, give these guys a chance. All their links are in the description below.
All right, guys, coming in at number 5, Star Wars Revelations, number 1, the main cover from Marvel Comics, releasing on December 20th. Sales for this one really surprised the guys over at Comic Nation on how low they were. The solicitation clearly states that this Star Wars annual will be introducing new characters, but the $6.99 cover price really seemed to hamper the potential sales volume. The stories in this book feature work from pretty much every single Star Wars creator in the industry. We think this one has something really notable in it. It may do well and could potentially see a second print. Worth noting, there is a mysterious looking character on the bottom of the cover, which should be a new Jedi, but we have to wait and see exactly who and what they are. I mean, Star Wars, they've been pumping Star Wars books out, right? And it's rare you see a Star Wars book without first appearances in it. So maybe the fad's a little bit dying down a little bit. Maybe, like the guys at Comic Nation say, the $6.99 cover price is hampering the sales. But interesting to see what this book does. I like the cover, man. And we have all characters we've seen already, except for that new character that's on the cover. We'll see if that's a reoccurring character or someone that's new.
I think even with all that information, to still see a Star Wars book at number 5 for the month of December on pre-orders is telling you something. Me and Jay probably learned this over the past couple of months doing this list, is that Star Wars comic book fans order their books, read them, and get them every month. So
Yep.
Star Wars fans coming through on the list every month, I'll tell you that. All right, coming in at number 4, I like this one. Batman Gargoyle of Gotham, number 2, the Noir edition. DC Comics releases December 12th. Okay, the first issue of this series was a total masterpiece that featured the first appearance of an all-new Batman villain named Krytoon. The promotional materials for this miniseries featured an additional 2 characters who are slated to make their first appearances in this series. We got confirmation from Grandpa himself that the other 2 will be appearing in this book. They're named Mother and the Virgin. So we can stop right there and just say, if the Virgin's showing up in this book, most of the defects are probably buying it, right? Like, we could just put that one to rest, all right? We always recommend the Noir edition to our customers, although they do not count towards incentives. We want our customers to get the best possible version of any book they are buying, even if it means we won't be qualifying for incentives. I'm going to talk more about that at the end of this. The fact these Noir editions do not count towards incentives no doubt suppresses orders from most shops. The first issue had many people telling us that every cover and version was available on the shelf at their LCS except the Noir edition. Worth noting, DC Comics calls these editions limited in the solicitations, but we reached out to Grandpa himself and he has no idea how they are limited, if at all. Perhaps they run a shorter overprint for them. No one really knows yet. We saw an unlettered preview copy for this issue, and it features an additional 3rd first appearance on the last page. So maybe a cameo, we'll see. This may be the best title running right now, and we strongly recommend any Batman fan come along for the ride. So guys, the guys over at Comic Nation told me before the first one came out to start reading this, and I haven't yet. I started picking back up comics. I started reading Punisher last month. So if I have my Marvel comic, maybe this will be my DC comic for the moment. I love the fact, so what he meant by counting towards incentives. when a comic shop orders a certain amount of covers for a particular comic, they start counting towards, like, let's say a 1 in 25. They have to order 25 copies of that comic to get one, to be eligible for 1 in 25. So when they order these, they do not count towards that 1 in 25 count, that 1 in 50 count, that 1 in 100 count. All right. But they're still pushing their pull list members to this book, knowing that it doesn't, because they want them to have the best cover. What likely is going to have the best, bang for the buck. And I mean, looking at the cover, it's super dope. It's clearly not available in other comic shops, like he said, as they told you in their little editorial here. So shout out Comic Nation again. What can I say?
Yeah, absolutely. And like Matt said, I got to pick this up to read myself. I haven't read it. I know Grandpa's been killing these
Yeah.
Batman covers. If you're a Batman fan, you've been reading this, let us know in the comments. But by the time number 3 comes out, I will be caught up, guys, and I will give you my opinion.
Same.
All right, guys, coming in at number 3, a title that's been making the list month after month. Void Rivals #1, 5th printing, Janoy Lindsay variant by Skybound, and this releases on December 13th. This book did just not stop selling for Comic Nation. No matter how many printings or even what the issue is, it produces pre-orders. These later printings have very low print run. As a result, often sell out of distribution before they are even released. Later printings of this issue may be sought after in the Energon universe. Every takes off and sees an animated series debut alongside G.I. Joe and the Transformers reboot. Whew. We think that fans will continue to order these later prints as long as they keep providing new, interesting cover art, which it has. These covers have been phenomenal.
Yeah.
So far, the Energon Universe rollout, which is a shared universe between the new Void Rivals property and G.I. Joe Transformers, has been extremely strong. We fully anticipate this will make it into a 6th printing, and we are looking forward to see what they do with the cover. No doubt it will sell well. This cover is one for the later printings that features the 2 main characters from Void Rivals, which is always nice to see. This book has been killing it, guys. You know it kills it if it's in a 5th printing and it's still selling out. The boys over at Comic Nation expecting to see a 6th printing on this, Matt. What do you think? Is this one of these books that you think, we all know as the print runs get higher, the print count gets lower? Do you think the cover A original one coming out is going to be worth more, or do you think it's worth grabbing the 6th print or the 5th print?
I think you have to have whatever the last print is, you have to have it. So unfortunately, we won't know what it is until it happens, right? Because they don't stop printing until they stop buying. So I think you have to have the first print, and I think you have to have the last print nowadays. This is another one. I've heard a lot of good things. I want to get into it. This is probably in the running for Book of the Year, probably. It's got to be, right? And especially with nostalgia, like G.I. Joe and Transformers. Yep. This has the recipe, I think, to if we had a vote, this could be top 2 or 3 for Book of the Year. So yeah, this is doing really well. What can I haven't seen a book like, go into a 6th printing like this. What? Nottingham? It's probably, right? It's been something like that back in 2021, 2022 since we really seen, and I'm sure there's others, but like the most notable one that comes to mind is Nottingham,
The most notable for me is definitely Something is Killing the Children.
Well, that was
but later on, 2018.
Yeah.
But I mean, it continues to sell and people continue to buy.
Coming in at number 2 is Moon Knight number 30. Let me not mess up this name. Alessandro Cappuccio, the Foreshadow variant. I like that. From Marvel Comics, releasing December 13th. I'm telling you, December 12th, 13th is a hot week.
Yep.
I think we figured that out. So, from Comic Nation, this particular issue was an incredible read. We are happy to see the creative team continue with the new upcoming title. Although the new Moon Knight is featured on the cover of this and the Scotty Young variant, we can confirm he is not actually in the story. We suspect one of the possible identities was in this book, but not as Moon Knight. The first cover appearance of a character before they appear is always tricky, but it did not surprise us that people opted for this cover at a FOC. Most people did not know if the Moon Knight would make a cameo. The first issue for the upcoming Moon Knight series will likely be his first in-story appearance, and we think if this new version is well received, this Foreshadow variant should get some attention. So, guys, I like the Moon Knight series. Apparently, it's starting over with the same creative team and a new Moon Knight. All right. I do like the story. I do like the point to talk about a little bit of a character appearing on the cover before they actually appear in series. And Jay, the first thing that came to my mind was Joaquin Torres as the Falcon in
Yep.
number 5 of that series, but did not appear in story until 6. And we saw that number 5 is the more expensive book, was and probably will be during the up and
Yep.
coming movie, for a couple of reasons. Dope cover, dark cover, which is always harder to get in high grade, so it always pushes the price up. And I think this cover kind of does the same thing. It's kind of dark. It's not too dark, but it's a dope cover. So I could see this cover appearance outdoing the number 1 where he first appears in story, if that character ever becomes something super desirable. What do you
All
think?
right. Yeah, I agree. And it's so funny you said the Torres book because that's probably the biggest one in modern
Recently.
comics, right?
Yeah.
And that all black cover is just phenomenal. I mean, Capuccio knocks this out of the park. This is a dope cover, guys. Like the guy said, not sure. Maybe you get the cameo. Maybe you get the character. Maybe you get the person and not the character, which we talk about all the time. But regardless, something to roll the dice on. If you're a Moon Knight fan, you're getting a new Moon Knight and the first cover appearance of a new Moon Knight. So something definitely worth grabbing.
All right, guys, giveaway time. Giving away some gift cards. $20 for the October show, $20 for the November show. These are gift cards from Comic Nation. And then I'm letting you know that December's giveaway is going to be a $30 gift card. So to enter, all you have to do is be a subscriber of the channel and comment on these videos. And guys, make sure you come back next month to see if you've won, all right? Because we've had a couple unclaimed prizes. So make sure you're giving Comic Nation a follow. Their links are down below. So again, shout out to them for hooking you guys up with some giveaways. So let's do this thing. First one we're going to run is the October. I got the link loaded up already. We are going to do 4 plus 9 equals 13, hopefully. We got 57 comments, and we're going to pick a winner.
Here we
See who
go.
it is. What do we got? Lee Nearin.
Oh,
We know him.
it's
What
our
is
buddy
up?
Lee.
He said some of those covers are a little questionable, but I do like that Thanos cover. It's pretty sweet. I like that thing too. So congratulations. Make sure you contact us on Instagram. Put it in the comments that you've won, that you read it, or hit us up at pressabledefects@gmail.com. Let's go to the next video for November. Where is it at? Where is it at? Copy the link. Paste it in here. Paste, filter the users. 1 plus 9 is 10, hopefully. We got 42 unique comments for November. Let's run this thing.
Good luck.
Who's taking this one down? Oh, our boy Tommy Longbox.
There you go, Tommy.
Congratulations.
Both Lee and Tommy both watch every video, so these will definitely get claimed for sure.
Absolutely. Those guys are definitely claiming that. And guys, remember, December is going to be a $30 gift card. Comment down below and be a subscriber to enter that one.
Defects. What better way to round out the list than number 1, timeless number 1, Felipe Massafara's spoiler variant from Marvel Comics released in December 27th. This cover is fire. The artwork for this variant was not supposed to be revealed at FOC, but it was, and that caused sales to go pretty wild. This looks like Doctor Doom, Sorcerer Supreme, but will he take on that mantle in this issue? We are not sure. But the cover by Massafara is a stunner and was enough for people who ordered to go crazy. There was a lot of hype surrounding the main story of this book that features Power Man and Moon Knight of the possible future, but this variant vastly outsold all other covers. Hoof. The solicitation also states that in this issue will feature a glimpse into the next year of Marvel stories. Can a Doctor Doom Sorcerer Supreme title or crossover be in the works? If that is the case, this variant may end up being pretty notable in the future. That being said, even just as a cover, this is one of the best Doom depictions that we have seen in a long time, and to us, and makes it worthy of the number one for December. I can't agree more, Comic Nation. This gets cover of the month and book of the month, in my opinion. This is a crazy depiction of Doom, Doom, the next Sorcerer Supreme, and a glimpse of what's going to happen in Marvel in 2024. This is a must buy for everybody that watches this channel, guys. Great choice. We get a Doom at number one. We get a possible first appearance of Doom Sorcerer Supreme. Matt, what are you thinking on this?
Dude. I mean, the timeless books have given us some good stuff, and some of them really have held their value, and people still collect them. People are still grabbing them up. So don't sleep on the timeless title. And obviously, we're huge Doctor Doom fans, and if you're giving me Doctor Doom Sorcerer Supreme in this issue, I'm grabbing it all day. I'm grabbing it 6 ways from Sunday, man. This is a killer depiction. This is a killer cover, and I hope it comes true in the stories, in the pages. So this is one. This is a must-have for me and Jay for sure, and probably a lot of you watching as well. All right, guys. So that wraps up the top new comic book day pre-orders for the month of December. Appreciate the guys over at Comic Nation once again. Guys, remember that $30 gift card is being given away for this month. So comment down below and be a subscriber. Like the video while you're down there. Leave some comments. Tell us what you're picking up this month. Tell us what you read last month. Whatever you guys want to comment. New videos every Tuesday and Thursday, 5 p.m. Eastern. And guys, until the next new comic book day video, later, Defects.